Hey everyone, it's been a while since my last video, about 3 years. A few things have changed. Got a beard, got new glasses, and my foot is fine. So, I came back onto my YouTube recently and I was inundated with comments that I hadn't seen and hadn't answered, so apologies for that. Asking about where I am now, a few more questions about the actual injury itself, and I thought now, with this whole pandemic business going on, is the perfect time for me to actually jump on, spend some time and answer some questions and comments. So first one here I've got from Sandra, please how do you get rid of the limp? I'm assuming that's what it says. And the more and more you walk on it, the less obvious the limp gets and the more strengthened your leg becomes and the more balanced you become. So, time and patience is the biggest key with all of this. Chris here has stated, would love to see another training progress video. I'm glad Chris has brought this up. Obviously, over a period of time, preferences change. I'm not that diligent with my training, to say it nicely. I did, however, jump into powerlifting after the injury because, you lose the passion for sport and you get a bit like, risk adverse, I'd like to say. And you're like, okay, if I do this and I put this up at risk and it's not worth it when you get a bit older and there's a bit more responsibility lying on you. So went into powerlifting as the less dangerous sport to go into. And my foot didn't seem to have any issues with the movements. I mean, squat and deadlifts under quite heavy weights. My foot wasn't in any compromising positions. The force is just straight up and down. And obviously with powerlifting and coming back from an injury, it did take a while to kind of acclimate to bigger weights. So I was able to also acclimate my foot to heavier weights as well. And I guess that was probably a good starting point for me. I might have some old videos of me doing PBs that I can put in here for you, Chris, and you can, check them out and have a look at my foot if you want. He's also asked that I get a fusion or regular screws. So I got screws. I got one screw through the metatarsals and it was taken out after 6 months when it was initially put in. He's also asked, he's got the trifecta here, how are you recovering, brother? I'm going through this as well. Now, Chris, that's a shame. I hope you're doing well. I'm doing great. No issues with my foot. Walking's fine. Sport is fine, even though I've kind of eased off on it. Training's not an issue. There is occasional soreness, as I'll get into with a few other questions, but other than that, it's really nothing. It feels fine. So, Chris, you'll be fine. Be patient, be positive, you'll be good. What else we got here? How long does it take to feel like your old self? Okay, this is a good question. When I was younger, a bit more optimistic, I'll be back 12 months bigger and better than ever. The inconvenient truth is not everyone will be like that. I probably took 18 to 24 months to actually feel really, really comfortable in my foot again. We've got one here, tutorial on how to think you're a gangster even though you're a white nerd rap fan. It's a fair assessment. Please show me your x-ray. I believe that is in one of the earlier videos. If I can find it, I'll put it up now. Did it hurt when you first started walking with the boot? Yes, it did, because I was thrown into the deep end by my doctor, by the surgeon rather. He was like, you know what, you need to start walking, young man. So I was like, okay. So chucked the boot on, got rid of the crutches. I was very dependent on crutches up until that point. And it was very sore. You haven't put any pressure into your foot for a long, long time. So it was very sore, hence why I made the learning to walk again video. And as you can see over time, as you become more acclimated to the weight bearing aspect of walking, it hurts less and less and you begin to walk a bit more aligned and balanced. So yes, it did start hurting, but after a while it goes away. Someone rightfully has said, I know it's been 3 years ago, did you manage to get rid of the hop from day 1 to day 2? Yes, I did. Obviously, again, just a lot of weight bearing, a lot of practice, a lot of patience. Morillo has asked, how am I doing now? Do I have any trouble walking, running? Is there any pain? I'm fine. I don't feel any pain when I'm doing exercise, when I'm running around. I feel normal. I don't have any issues really. There is, however, every so often when I'm wearing shoes that aren't that great support-wise, and I've been on my feet for a while, that my foot does get a little bit sore on the sole. you know, that's just, I think that's life post any significant injury. And, you know, you just learn to get used to it, and you know what your new limitations are. So it feels comfortable. Some pain, like rarely, every so often. And when I say pain, it's just kind of little niggle saying, you know, I'm still here. And I'm like, yeah, I know you're here. And that's really all it is. So all good. Thank you, young man. So Ambrosia says, these videos are very helpful. She has a fracture as well. There's barely any information online. And yeah, that's true. That's why I started these videos, because there weren't really, obviously there's scholarly articles, medical reports on the actual injury itself. But in terms of people's experiences, there weren't really any. So I thought I'd make some, document my experience, and people can kind of take from that what they want. Also on that, I'd probably recommend that you don't keep looking for answers, because everyone's injury is different. You're gonna fall into a rabbit hole and you're just gonna get obsessed with this Lisfranc thing. So best thing to do is, you know, look at a few different experiences, assess where you're at, that's your situation, and then just write it out and do what your surgeon and physio and your team says. So this person has said, okay, thanks for making these videos. You were lucky to stay in a comfortable place. This person is unfortunately in a nursing home for 3 weeks, couldn't even go outside. 12 weeks post-surgery, she'll get screws out soon. Hopefully you got them out. And just want to say thank you for these videos. You're welcome, not a problem at all. Incredibly important to keep your mind occupied during these times. Obviously, what you can do has been cut back significantly, and you have to spend a lot of time inside, and we also have to spend a lot of time inside now because of the pandemic, so I'm used to it. But you have to really keep yourself occupied, be productive. I started making videos, a silver lining. Own a video production company now, so you know, something good did come from it. So keep yourself positive, keep yourself entertained, keep your mind occupied. Try and do as much exercise as you can, obviously without pushing it. So whether it is, you know, a bit of rehabilitation exercise, or even if it's just going outside and, you know, throwing a ball up to yourself while you sit down, just something to kind of get outside and be a little bit active, I think is a big key for this. This Eddie here essentially doesn't know where to start, and if they'll ever get to where I am. Eddie, you'll be fine. Everyone's injury is different. Listen to your surgeon, be patient, do your rehab. That's all. That's all you can do. This is, a lot of people, they get injuries, they want to find a way out of it, you know. This is your new scenario. You have to adapt and you have to overcome. That's it, you know. It's real life now, guys. Big Pushka. It's a good one. Was wondering if I had any arthritis pain. Well, as I said before, I do get a little bit of pain every so often. I don't believe it is arthritis, and my surgeon said it was highly unlikely I would get, Big Pushka, it's a fantastic name, is wondering if I get arthritis pain. So, as I said before, I do get a little bit of pain. It's not arthritis. My surgeon did say that arthritis would probably occur later on down the track when I'm older, and it probably would have occurred regardless of the injury or not. Again, that's just something that I don't know. I don't know how to answer that. No arthritis for me, I can't answer that. Talk to your surgeon. A few more interesting comments here. Anna has said, hello Angelo, my boyfriend recently injured himself and was diagnosed with a Lisfranc. I'm curious whether or not you're fully recovered now. Anna, good news is I feel like I am. Performance-wise, I probably am. No issues, your boyfriend will be fine. Just, I know, he'll probably go a little bit crazy, just try and keep him at ease. Best advice. Wyatt here has asked quite a big question, quite a hard-hitting question. He has asked quality of life after Lisfranc injury. Not bad at all. I'm an avid skateboarder and was wondering if you were still experiencing pain or if you are pretty much back to normal. Like, could you do box jumps? No issue. Box jumps, no issue. There is a little bit of pain, as I've said before. Once every blue moon, there's a little bit of pain, but it's not pain, it's just a little niggle. Nothing at all, bit of tenderness at the worst. Yeah, quality of life is fine. No problems, Wyatt. Thank you for asking. Great video, how you doing now? Brady, not bad at all, thank you. How long was it from one crutch to no crutches? So I had to do this over the span of, I think it was 7 days. So I dropped all my crutches when I was signaled by my surgeon to walk. It was very difficult, very, very difficult. Obviously I spent like a day or two on one crutch And after that, I was like, okay, look, we need to get rid of this, holding onto the wall, and then over time, more impact, the more used to it your foot comes, the more you're able to walk. There's a lot of questions here, guys. Rusty Boy has asked, are you able to cut in football? I can cut in football. I haven't played in a long time, but yes, I could cut. Was swelling an issue for you when you began to walk again? Yes, obviously, was swelling, Michael here has asked, was swelling an issue when you began to walk again? Yes, it was. Foot was under quite a bit of duress after being, out of action for a long time. However, obviously, the more movement I did, the more it started to subside. And I've replied to this comment saying it took about 2 to 4 weeks for it to subside, but it subsides over time, obviously. So there you go. Also, I've left a little message here for my future self. Ice it up, elevate it while you're resting. Other than that, just let it happen. Thanks, Angela. Shades here has asked a big 4-part question. So first of all, he's asked, number 1, post-surgery, how long before you really got rid of the pain? For it to feel kind of semi-back to normal, probably 6 to 12 months. Post-surgery, how long before you could walk independently with no limp? Again, probably 6 to 12 months, probably directly related to the pain aspect of it. Have you been playing sport again? I did play sport again. I played touch football. I played AFL, which is an Australian version of football, indoor soccer and volleyball. I didn't have any issues with any of those sports. Obviously, the more I played, the more comfortable I became. Also, with soccer, I was a bit apprehensive to do because, you're using your foot a lot and it was on the hard surface, but kind of the more I kicked, the better my foot felt. So, got used to a bit more of the pain. It kind of felt like I was breaking it in, which is a bit odd, but also felt good. Number 4, did you really get back to full functionality? Like, how are you pre-injury? Excellent question. I did get back to full functionality. I did notice, however, that after I kind of tapered off powerlifting and became less strenuous with my physical activity, that my right side did begin to favour more so than my left side. And it was very noticeable when squatting. You go down and, watch yourself in the mirror, and I could see myself leaning on this right-hand side. So just be wary of that, I guess. And obviously, if you do notice that, kind of realign yourself, readjust yourself, and rebalance yourself. So that's all you can do there. How are you feeling today 3 years ago? I've said I feel good. I also feel good today. This guy here has said, hey bro, thanks for making these videos. I just started to walk in shoes after 4 months of non-walking. His foot is sore. I've walked a bit. Did you get sore after walking? I would get so sore after walking all the time, but again, over time, as it becomes more used to it, as you heal up a bit more, no issues at all. So yeah, do expect pain. I think that's one thing I probably didn't show enough here. There are going to be days where you feel quite sore, you feel in pain, you're going to feel, down in the dumps. All part of injury recovery for any major surgery, really. That's it. Just keep tucking along. That's all you can do. Oh, boo-hoo, how many screws, how many plates? 1 screw, thank you for asking. Thomas here has asked when I could walk after the surgery. It took about 4 months post initial surgery for me to be able to walk. Once the screw was removed, however, I was able to walk out of the hospital. Probably not advised, probably better just to keep it up, but that's how I was back in the day 3 years ago. And that's probably it. Pretty happy with all those questions, pretty broad spectrum of questions and experiences that I got to answer and share. If you did find this helpful, let me know. If you had any more questions, drop them in the comments and I'll get to them either via comment section or via video. Anyway, guys, keep your head up, you'll be fine, and hopefully see you soon. Good luck with recoveries.